shines a silver thread of truth mixed in with propaganda. Be careful what you say to those with whom you'll be at odds, who've taken on the dogma in the pantheon of gods.
Doesn't matter if you're Christian or if Islam or Hindu, your horizons need to open to a universal view. The dynamics of change in an endless cosmic sea all need to be a part of your mind's reality. There's been more than one intrusion when you finally check the odds of groups and competition in the pantheon of gods.
Aztec gods, Celtic gods, gods of ancient Sumer. All of them existed, and it's not just myth or rumor. Greek gods, Hindu gods, all gods in relief. Weave a magic tapestry of spiritual belief. All of them have been here, part of spiritual decorum. And all of them are aspects of a complex cosmic form.
Doesn't matter if you're Christian or if Islam or Hindu, your horizons need to open to a universal view. The dynamics of change in an endless cosmic sea all need to be a part of your mind's reality. There's been more than one intrusion when you finally check the odds of groups and competition in the pantheon of gods.
Expect the unexpected if you peer beyond the veil.
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. Good evening or morning, depending on your time zone. From the Pacific to the Atlantic to you worldwide. Get yourself a cup of Java and find a comfy, easy chair. And get ready for Gary and his guest on Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark. And now, here's Gary.
Hey, James, are you there?
Yeah. Hello. My Skype's acting up. You hear me now?
Yeah. Well, we had 2 minutes of dead air.
Oh my goodness! I've been talking. My Skype is. I don't know what's going on with it. Anyway, we got Darren Dykhouse with us. Darren, are you still there with us?
Oh, yes, I'm still here.
Sorry about my. I don't know what's going on with my Skype. That's the second time I acted up tonight. But anyway, you're a paranormal investigator, and tell us, what is your next plan of investigation coming up?
Well, right now I don't have a whole lot going on for investigations. The weather's kind of turning for the worst. I'm hoping we get back out there maybe mid-January. But I do got a lot of stockpiled footage, and actually I've been working on my 100th episode, and that was at the Stimson Hospital here in Eden Rapids in Michigan, and that has quite the history as well. That was built in the late 1800s, and it was a mansion, and then it was converted into a hospital in the 1920s. The Dr. Blanchard fell to his death in an elevator shaft there. I mean, it was kind of a smaller hospital. It was only a 20-bed hospital, and it was really Victorian style. really, really cool place. But the doctor fell to his death in the elevator shaft when he opened the door and the elevator wasn't there. He said to still be there.
And
I actually
you haven't been.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, you haven't been there yet, but you're planning on going there. Is that what I understand?
No, I had already gone there. I will be releasing that video sometime this week on YouTube. I try to release my investigations. I do a lot of my own filming and my own editing. Now,
what did you find there? Tell us.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of interesting activity there. I had gone there before, and the previous time I had gone, I heard something getting thrown in the morgue room, and I was the only one in there at the time. I tried to debunk it the best I could, but couldn't figure it out. It was weird. We also got a lot of EVPs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, how about poltergeist activity? You've come across a lot of that in your investigations, or any of it yet?
Not a whole lot. Not yet. Like I said, the only one I've gotten was the one in the morgue. You know, it sounded like a pebble, or, you know, it's still being renovated. It's kind of, you know, it could have been part of the drywall or something, but it sounded like a good, nice, heavy piece of, maybe like a pebble or something, but sounded like it was chucked across the room.
Yeah, that will definitely get
I got the noise on camera, but I didn't get. I just tried everything to debunk it, but couldn't.
Yeah, well, definitely get your attention when stuff, you know, when you hear things like that. Let me ask you this: in all your investigations with your team, have you or any of your team members brought anything home, or have picked up an attachment along the way?
I have a couple times. I mean, it happens, but you know, the best you can do is learn and protect yourself a little more. You know, I do cleansings in my own home now, frequently, almost to a daily basis, really. But when I first started doing this, I went to a place up north, and really cool cemetery. It's called Brickyard Cemetery, and I came home that night and fell asleep, but woke up to someone opening my door, and it was a black figure with a top hat standing at the foot of my bed. It's quite nerving.
How'd that go?
The only thing I did. All I could do was try to close my eyes and go back to sleep, hope for it to go away.
How do you go back to sleep when you wake up with a figure staring at you like that?
Yeah, that was, I don't know, that's a hard one.
Yeah, now, do you have a wife or a girlfriend? I mean, or do you live with anybody?
I have a fiance.
Now, how'd she take it? How'd she take it?
Oh, well, she wasn't here at the time, so.
Yeah. I mean, so would you have to obviously cleanse your house? I mean, you just nonchalantly went back to sleep.
That was before I started getting into what I do white sage and Palo Santo wood. I burn those. I also started getting like salt lamps and crystals. I know black tourmaline is a really powerful one for attachments and negativity and energy. But
now
praying and all that stuff is good.
Right. So what would be your advice to somebody if they're, you know, first time, maybe they're going to go investigate something? What would be your advice on, you know, protection or anything along those lines? I
started out with, you know, the crystals. That was really my biggest thing. I think the best for protection is black tourmaline and black obsidian. White sage is a good one. If you burn sage, I'm sure everyone has heard that one before, you know, maybe not, but a lot of people don't know is the Palo Santo wood. I've come across a lot of people that have not heard of that, but it's a sacred wood that comes from the Amazon, and it works really well. It's very powerful.
Now, have
It
you
was
ever
used
done
in a lot
anything?
of- Yeah, go
Has
ahead.
any of this
Sorry.
has any of this stuff ever made the spirits more angry or more aggressive?
I've not come across that yet, but I've heard, that's why you have to do an investigation before you cleanse, because, you don't know what you're going to deal with, and you don't want to piss something off that's going to, some things are not so easy to get rid of, especially if it's negative and you don't want to go somewhere and not know what you're dealing with first.
Right. Now, have you come across something in your investigations that was really negative that you've had a hard time with?
So far, not so much. Although we had a case where my partner Jamie, she broke down in tears and she saw images of young women being, murdered, and there was no record of that, but the house dates back to almost the 1900s, and we don't know what the case was, but there was something negative there. We tried our best to cleanse, but I know the homeowners there are still dealing with stuff. A couple days after that, my partner Jamie, who was with me that was doing the cleanse, she wound up in the hospital. Whether it wasn't related or not, we don't know. But she was sick for no apparent reason. It's like incidences like that, you question a little.
Yeah, definitely. If you've gotten people that's getting physically sick, or how about being scratched, hit, bit, or pushed, or anything along those lines? Have you ever physically been attacked? Tell us about that.
I've been scratched, right in my own home. But like I said, I've done cleansings here. Being an empath, I feel like there's spirits roaming the earth everywhere. I live in an area that, I feel like they come and go, kind of like a spiritual highway. And my house is right in the smack dab of it. But, yeah, it's something.
And I was going to say, you probably, you think you're bringing some spirits home with you, maybe more than, the average person? Maybe they're following you home?
Yeah, probably more than the average person, especially from what I do and being an empath. And, empaths are said to be almost a beacon in the spiritual world.
Right. So, what have you... you're going to have to protect yourself maybe a little better or something.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because one of these days you may bring something home that doesn't want to leave so easily, and that can be rough.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely getting better at cleansing and keeping them out. I keep it sealed pretty good.
Now, what's your favorite piece of equipment that you like to use most?
I've always gone a lot with my SP7 spirit box. I really like hearing the voices and stuff, or actually just a plain old digital recorder. I've gotten voices with that. I love just hearing the voices. I know there's a lot of skepticism on phone apps, but I've had a lot of I've even contacted the creators for these apps. The Spiritus Box app and the Necrophonics app are the only two apps that I use on my phone, and they're more of the IPC communication. They're basically a spirit box, without the white noise.
Mm-hmm.
But I've used those apps numerous times in my investigations and gotten tons of credible responses.
How about the Connect? Have you ever used the Connect yet?
I have used one. Another team I work with